Is there any other solution? Something has to be done.
I mean, personally, I think we have to go to a clean break Brexit. I think the minute we do that, we say we're out, we keep our £39 billion, and we also then can negotiate a free trade deal. I think it's the only way.
Aren't people going to be dying in the street?
No.
Aren't they buying body bags?
No.
Aren't we going to have a shortage of medicines? You're a doctor.
No, I can actually tell you about that. So I have spoken to all sorts of people, including the EFPIA, which is the trade body looking after pharmaceuticals. I've spoken to pharmaceutical bodies themselves. There has been a lot of robust planning. The NHS Confederation told me that. As far as we know from the work that's been carried out, there will be no shortage of medicines in a no-deal Brexit.
All right.
It is bluster. It is Project Fear.
Since the European election, it has become more like an empire.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And that's what it's trying to achieve. Now, empires end up in very bad states. Look at the Roman Empire, look at the British Empire. Mm-hmm. It's not a good place to be.
Can I just say, actually working in Brussels, it is very apparent what they're doing. I'm working for a federalist entity. You know, there are these huge logos everywhere with stars everywhere. The building is like the Death Star. It is like something I have never experienced before. And clearly what they're doing, and they've been really open about it, they want an EU army. They want, you know, they want a federal Europe. Now, that's fine. But the only way that will work is you have to abolish all national democracies. And you have one single parliament, and that's what they want.
But Luxembourg are treating us with contempt, James. I mean, Luxembourg,
well,
the most boring country
I
on the
didn't
planet.
know Luxembourg was a country. I thought it was a radio station. That was a joke. Let's talk about Rory Stewart, okay?
Yeah, Rory.
David,
yes.
Rory Stewart, yeah. Has he got much chance of becoming the mayor of London?
So the really funny thing is, just before I came here, I bumped into him.
No.
Yes.
He's
so
not outside,
No,
is
we
he?
were having coffee just down the road from here, and he's all dressed down, he's in his jeans, he couldn't stop smiling.
Yeah.
So he's obviously decided that this is the best decision of his life. But to me, this smacks of he's annoyed, he's left the Conservative Party, he's now standing against Sean Bailey, and Sean is obviously the official Conservative candidate.
We had Sean on the show a couple of weeks ago,
Does he stand much chance? I don't think so. He needs a political machine behind him, and I think you need one of the, you know, mainstream parties behind you.
Basically, he wanted something, they didn't give it to him, leadership. And he said he's never going to leave the Tory party, and then 2 minutes later, it's like, you know what, I'm still crying, they don't let me play, I'm going to go somewhere else. It's not politics, it's not logical, it's just being selfish.
But if he does get elected as mayor and then goes and does marvellous things for London, I'm not saying he will, and then goes back into the Conservative Party, he could end up as Prime Minister. It's not unheard of.
Oh, dear.
This might have happened in the past.
But it does seem an extraordinary thing to have done because, you know, he had a constituency, you know, he could stay a Member of Parliament, you know, it's likely that the Conservatives might get back in. This seems like throwing out all your toys, you know, the baby with the bathwater, doesn't it? Saying, I'm going to resign, I'm no longer going to be a Member of Parliament, I'll stand on this kind of weird ticket of Mayor of London. I mean, bear in mind he does live in Chelsea, so he probably still doesn't want to be an MP up in the northwest, which is my patch as an MEP. So he probably thinks this is his golden ticket.
Let's talk about Harry and Meghan.
I've worked with journalists for a long time, obviously, James.
Yeah.
And never have I seen such an example of stupid behaviour coming from the royal family. If she wanted to sue over breach of copyright, absolutely fine. However, the statement that Harry put out at the same time was hysterical, over the top, and has just shot themselves in the foot again.
I feel sorry for them because
No, I
they're
don't
a
at
young.
all.
Well, I do
No,
because
not in
they're
any
a
way, shape
young
or form.
couple, and you know I wouldn't want his life or her life for anything. And I think we need to cut them a bit of slack. If you ever look at the social media harassment of her, it is absolutely appalling.
Totally wrong. Personal insults and trolling is absolutely wrong, but this is hypocritical. She's not a celebrity. Harry isn't a celebrity. They are members of the royal family for which we pay. We pay their wages. They should do the job that they are doing.
I
and
agree.
they shouldn't.
Dawn, I don't want to fall out with you, but I agree
Go on.
to a certain
Go
extent.
on.
No. And I just think we need to cut them a bit of slack. And I'll tell you this, if you want to get in touch, feel free. I've never met a nice Republican.
Thereby lies the problem, because, of course, Meghan lived in California. She was famous. She was an actor, and I think that she still thinks it's the same sort of job, and it isn't the same sort of job at all. It's
But they need a
completely
good
different
PR
job.
company to look after
They
them.
do, but I think the thing is that that Harry is so insistent that they move away from the royal family, that they do things their way, which I think is absolutely fine. And obviously he is very, very traumatised by what happened, but I don't think Meghan has quite realised the extent of her new job.
Yeah,
No,
I
she
agree.
doesn't. No,
I agree.
absolutely.
almost 30,000 snowflakes have signed a petition. This is Ricky was one of them, to get the Oxford Dictionary to change its definition of woman. Dawn?
So what?
Which has derogatory synonyms like filly and bird listed under its meaning. Should it be updated to reflect the times?
Get over it. Stop being a snowflake.
Dictionaries are
But
always
they've
updated,
called
aren't
language. They update, but they've called language. I mean, that's what
The
makes our
dictionaries
language
updated
so.
based on what society is saying anyway, and or have said in the past.
Yeah.
Like selfie, for example,
Yeah.
is there now.
Yeah.
And some people might not like the word selfie, but that's what it means within society.
How many people now refer to a woman as a bird?
I do.
Do you? Yeah, but I think that's unusual. Well, you are unusual.
Thank you. Sorry, that wasn't. No,
You
sorry.
touched me.
No, oh my God, sorry.
Hang on. Should we guys now get upset about being called a bloke or a fella or a geezer?
No.
There are more important things to
I think so.
I think now.
So why would 30,000 people sign this petition?
Because people are.
Just one quick one, James. This is from Darren Woodley. Says, James Whale, still talking nonsense after all these years. Shocker.
Well, you should know. You've been watching and following for all these years, so there we are.
First we were afraid, we were petrified. How would we manage without Europe standing by our side? David Cameron rolls the dice and then we find he ups and legs it. And frankly it's not nice to go and leave them all with Brexit. He went away, walked out the door, turned his back now, it's not his party anymore. They work round the clock in London, do they ever get to play? Boris might not have the chance yet, but at last Theresa May. And my poor dear, I sometimes fear you were left in choppy waters, as it did appear. When PM you made a leap, and yes you did your best for Blighty. Be glad that you can sleep now much more soundly in your nightie. We'll survive, we will survive. What we need's determination and an awful lot of drive. Britain has its borders, not like all the other nations. Sadly that brings with it far too many complications. No one knows quite where they stand. So many differences and fractions causing rifts in our great land. If this fair isle were only England, that would surely help us lots. But please don't make me cross the border and suggest that to the Scots. We'll survive, we will survive. But our worries buzz around our heads like bees do in their hive. We're all on edge, our toes are curled, we need some pills to calm us. Is this the last day of the world foretold by Nostradamus? It's not far off, it's coming near. Who will unravel all the problems and restore some order here? When still there's all the greyness of a Stockton-on-Tees fog. And to clear it we need Sherlock Holmes, if not Jacob Rees-Mogg. Joking apart, where do we start? What do we aim for when our arrow's not as sharp as Cupid's dart? What's our target? Surely this is when we show the world our muscles. However, then again, it's not so easy leaving Brussels. How can we see how life will be without our continental partners there to be our family? Will they shake our hands and try to tell us all how much they'll miss us? The French are bound to cry and then take half an hour to kiss us. All's done and said, it's going ahead. This most fiendish separation up with which we all are fed. The committees did their bit, and on their backs we ought to pat them. There's not been such a split since that occasion with the atom. But that Thursday will arrive. Will we survive? Will those Brexiteers go wild when they get out of work at 5? Will they dance on Tower Bridge? Will any of them be left sober? Well, let's wait and see what happens on the last day of October. Will we survive?